All right, so I picked up a pack of 25 assorted wood veneers. It's quite a few variety of species in here, so let's take a look. So these are all labeled accordingly. So here's Babinga from Africa. We have some Koa from the Hawaiian Islands. Larch from Canada, never heard of it. Edamos Smoke, it's a figured wood. So this is actually, ooh, soft. This one's really cool. So this one, I think, is what we'll start with, is a dark background for the headstock we're gonna build. Bird's eye maple, which is super awesome. Good old-fashioned mahogany. Padauk, nice. Sapele, very nice. A burl, which is walnut. And this burl also has sort of a waviness to it, so I'm not sure if the laser will cut it perfectly, but it's a nice burl. So you're looking at less than a mil, about 0.7. And I'm glad that we have some variation. So, you know, we had that red Padauk, which is gonna be nice. We have some really light woods like the maple. So we have a lot of color options to build our veneer. So I figure as the least impressive wood, pine, we'll use this as our test cut for the laser. It's very flat. It's gonna sit really nice, and we'll do the headstock cutout just to see what our speeds and our strength need to be, because right now my speed and strength is set up for something a little bit thicker, and I don't think we need to burn as hot or go as slow for these thin pieces of veneer. So we'll use this as the test piece. This is figured. Yeah, we'll do the figured. So this is the darkest one we have, and we'll use this figured part as the actual headstock veneer. So this will be our headstock. We'll do pine first for the test cut, and then we'll actually do the cut on the figured wood. All right, so this is really super cool. This is the veneer. It was the pine test veneer, and this is how it came out. So this is a Gibson style headstock with tuner holes and then a hummingbird. So essentially it's taking out all the negative space for the hummingbird. And what I want to do is use the different colored veneers to fill back in all those pieces of negative space. A couple of things occurred to me. One, I kind of just eyeballed the tuner holes. So I guess this would be like vintage tuner holes, and I don't know if they're accurate. And it's all a test. So I'll go get some tuner pegs and stick them in to see if they work, and modify the circles if I need to. Pretty darn impressed by the detail the laser can do. And I guess technically, since it's symmetrical, you can actually orient it either way. So you don't get the black scorch marks that you typically would if you're like running too slow and too hot. I think my speeds and my power settings were so perfect, and this material is so thin, that you don't have any of those charred marks on the edges of any of the surfaces and cuts. Super stoked about that. What I realized is I should have made this headstock oversized slightly by about 1 millimeter. That way you have 1 millimeter all the way around. That way it allows you to take a razor blade after you put this on your headstock and kind of shave things away or sand things away. A lot of options, but that's the other thing I'm going to do for the next iteration. I got V2 here on the figured dark wood, and I made the tuner holes a proper 10 millimeters in diameter to accommodate for modern tuners. Looking really good. This one came out excellent. Again, no burn marks or scorch marks. It's just perfect, and it's darker, so that means we can use lighter woods to fill in the inlay. And we have a variety of different veneers and colors. So I'm thinking probably the Padauk for the head, so it would be a redhead hummingbird. This is really cool when you stack these veneers. You can kind of get this really cool like offset effect, which is really neat. So that's something to think about with these super thin veneers. You can stack them, they're so thin. And you can probably get a really interesting effect just by overlaying them and slightly twisting them or turning them. And these veneers, just pack of 25 that I got. They are the absolute perfect size for headstock veneers. So I glued 2 veneers together, sandwiched them between 2 pieces of wax paper, and that's how it looks. So I made a veneer that had the outline and the tuner holes, but without the hummingbird inlay. And then I was able to glue it to the back with a figured wood, and it has this beautiful contrast in there. So this works really well when you stack veneers. You could even do maybe 3 or 4 stacks. You can increase the negative space and contrast in the shapes. There's a lot of things you can play with veneers. But this is what I landed on, so that when we take the little bits of Paduke and maple, we'll stick them in here, and they'll have something to sit on. They'll have that under veneer to sit on and glue in a little bit easier. Also, gluing the 2 veneers together really flattened it out, so it's sitting in there sandwiched all night long. It's a little bit stiffer too. So if each veneer is around 0.7 millimeters, this is double that now. And you can just keep going, you can keep stacking. I think this is a really cool idea. So now I'm just going to inlay the bits, and I have the Paduke that I cut on the laser. I had the thought of making like a redhead hummingbird. You always swap it out later. These are definitely not the right tools. I do have very nice tweezers, but I don't have them here in the shop. They're inside. I don't know about the beak being red. That should be dark. Let's grab the top piece. I'll do like 1 or 2 and then speed up the footage. Just using your hands is much easier. That was kind of nice. Really nice. I'm wondering though, if it's just the Paduke is just too dark. We'll swap out this beak. This is maple. Oh yeah. So that pops. So even the veneer underneath is more of a kind of a yellow color, and this maple is like white. That looks good. I'm wondering if I should just go all maple. I might have to go all maple. I'll keep the red head for now, just for now. But I'm thinking we're gonna go all maple. I would say that this experiment with very thin veneers was a success, and it was actually really quick. This wasn't even like a weekend project. I literally could knock this out in about an hour or 2, and then it's just a matter of assembling. The longest thing it took me to do was to glue the 2 veneers together to sandwich them. I let that dry overnight. I didn't have to. I could do this whole thing in less than an afternoon. I could do it in a morning with a cup of coffee. That's how quick you can do this. I think having a laser for doing this type of inlay is a must-have. crazy accurate. You can see how thin some of these lines are. So I think this was a really cool, fun, successful project. Thank you for watching. Take it easy.